Solana has hit all-time highs, so what we need to do in this video is identify some key levels that we could invest if we do get a pullback, and then some price targets going forward, and then maybe even a little bit of a price prediction. So without further ado, let's crack on. So hello and welcome to Operation Crypto, and welcome to a fresh video. We will start off as ever by doing some general market sentiment, have a look what's going on, and then we'll jump into Solana in both the USDT and the BTC pairings and have a look at some potential areas that we could get to invest. So looking at the general market picture, this is Bitcoin. We have had a 27% drop from those all-time highs. If you're looking at this entire year, January, February, March, April, we've had a drop throughout each month, creating all-time highs in every single month this year and then retracing. So currently, this red line here, I just need to move it up a little bit, is all-time highs up at 64,800, around that level. We have done that pullback, and now we've had a nice daily bullish engulfing candle there. So things aren't looking too bad at a minute. I mean, if you're looking at the histogram on my MACD, to be honest, that is starting to tick up into a bullish territory. The only thing that was swaying it a little bit was this. I think things were looking quite bearish. I think a lot of people saw this crossover on the moving averages and this tick to the downside on my histogram and thought, oh, that was it. That was end of the bull cycle, but it wasn't. If you look back then, in September of last year, we had a little bit of a tick to the downside. But in general, the market's bullish. I think everything is looking good. I'm not too concerned about BTC. The main thing I'm looking at is Ethereum BTC, which we'll just have a look at in a second. There it is, Ethereum BTC. So let's drop into the daily. Don't know why I jumped too far over. So this is what's going on currently. We had that breakout from the bullfrog, and then we were looking to target this area. We actually pushed just above it, and then we rejected. We do know that we had quite a big pullback across the markets, and people were shitting their pants all over the place and thought that was the end, but it wasn't. I mean, we've managed to push up. Ethereum BTC is looking good. I think a closure above this line here would be great for Ethereum, and we can really start to target some of the highs. If you're just looking at the weekly time frame, I think the next key area is around here. I think if we just mark that level up, so you could say, if you look at those 2 wicks there, we actually support and support there. So that is the next major area up at 0.053. So that's 54,000 Satoshis. But looking at the overall picture, we've still got 158% to make up there on that level. Let's just move it all the way up. That's how much room we've got to make, 226% on the BTC parent of Ethereum. So a long way to go, and I think we have still a lot to see in this bull market. A lot of altcoins are still way undervalued on the BTC pair. So all I can say is buy the dip. If you didn't manage to buy it over the last few days, things are still a lot lower than there was the course of the previous couple of weeks. So buy that dip and hold on long term. So that is a general market sentiment. I mean, just looking at BTCD, we're still below this key area at 52%. I mentioned it before. We have not closed a daily candle or a weekly candle, which we have done now, below this level since August 2018. Boom. So things are looking good. We have been down to this level before, 35% of 2017 bull run. I don't expect us to push down to that level, but if it does, retirement zone for me, you, and every man and his dog who've invested in cryptocurrency. Solana, which is ticker SOL, currently has a coin price of $46.69. Market cap $12.5 billion. We are currently ranked number 13 out of all cryptocurrencies. All-time high, which is quite a significant factor to note, is $48. We did hit that 17 hours ago. And if you're looking to get hold of some Solana market, so here we can see that we are trading on Binance. Binance against Tether is getting 36% of the entire market volume, so that's a fair old chunk. 6% against BTC, FTX, Huobi, Binance US, Huobi Global, Gate.io, Bitfinex. So some decent exchanges out there. If you're not on Binance and looking to get hold of some, you'll find that link in the pinned comment and the description. So all is looking good on the stats. Not a major drastic supply like some of these absolute dogshit meme coins coming out in a minute. So this is a solid blockchain. No shit here, no TikTok shilling. This is a proper pucker project. So let's have a look into some price analysis now and have a look at some key levels that we could target. Right, this is the Solana rocket, which has left the station on 14th of December, and since then we have done a 4,600% move. Absolutely insane. So if you managed to buy some back in last year, around December time, you probably sat on a beach somewhere with loads of sunlight on my face and getting absolutely frazzled. So weekly time frame, not much analysed there. We've only got data back to August 2020. Looking at the daily time frame, let's have a look here. We had a bullish cross on the 17th of April. A little bit of a downward trend there on that area. We did drop to the downside, but we soon picked up. Things are looking good here. The RSI is overbought, but when it's in price discovery, it's nothing to worry about that. You want that to stay above that red line and keep on pushing. So overall, daily time frame still kind of looking bullish, but dropping into a 4-hour time frame, starting to run out of steam here on the MACD is looking like it's trending down. Potential crossover on the moving averages coming. And the RSI has pretty much well, it didn't go above whenever last time. We've not been above a red line since the 30th of March, so not too bad, to be honest. RSI ain't looking too bad. What we need to do though is analyse this move. So this was a bottom at $20, and this is the all-time high, which we did peak up to $48. So that's quite a significant move since, I mean, a few days ago. So let's have a look at some buy zones. If we do get a market turnaround, we do know that whatever goes up at some point must come down. So, I mean, let's have a look where we could go. If we do start to roll over it, and like I say, this is running out of steam, we could drop to this level for buy zones. So, $38.12 could be another level. I mean, I do like to pretty much target the 618, which is golden ratio, quite often at $31. But in general, the markets overall are looking good. We've had a good bounce back from the last pretty much 4 to 5 days of absolute carnage. So things aren't looking too bad. But remember, this has not had much of a pullback. I mean, we've had little pullbacks on the way back, but it's not had a significant pullback where a massive holder drops a bag. So, I mean, $50 could be area for somebody to take some major profit, unless they're doing that already and laddering out profit. So in terms of price buy-ins, I would target buy-ins from $38. I would even have some down at $31 and even $30. So ladder some orders within around this area. And honestly, I think you might get some of those filled if the market does allow. Depends how general market sentiment pushes this up. But currently, it's looking good and it seems to be on a rampage that's not stopping it. But this area, just below $50, could be that area where it's going to get a pullback now. Come back down to these areas, pick up some liquidity, and then start pushing back up. If it doesn't drop down here though, and we need to have a look at these next fib levels. So if you're looking for targets, I think $50 will be the first major area to break. Once you do break above that, we can target 55, 65, and then I don't know. I mean, what's to say we can't do $100? Things are looking bullish across the entire market. So that to $100, I mean, you've got a 117% move, which is not out of the question considering we've already done a 4,500% move. So we need to keep his feet on the ground and just target these areas first. Look at $50, may get a rejection, come back, fill some orders down here. But if you're looking for accumulation levels to take profit, then sells at $55 and $65. I'm not going to target anything higher really until we do break above this. Once we do break about above $65, I'll jump into some more analysis and do another video. So that is the Tether pair covered. If you look at a BTC pair too, same scenario. Let's just drop back to the weekly time frame. I think we've got a little bit more data on this. I mean, we've got data back to April 2020, so a few more months data on that. Looking at that in terms of price rise, very well less on the BTC pair, 2,465. Getting a bit of a pullback at the minute, so things might be coming to an area where we could expect some nice buy zones. Looking at the MACD there, nothing too worrying about there. The RSI was well overbought at 86%. It looks like it's coming back down to earth with this candle here. So dropping into a 4-hour, best place to do is TA this, to be honest. Let's have a look at this entire move. So buy zones, it looks like we are starting to roll over now. if we do start to close some daily candles down towards this area, I think we might drop down to here. But if you're looking for buys, same scenario. Ladder some orders anywhere from 76,665 sats all the way down to 62,000 satoshis. You may get some, even if you pick up one order, then happy days. But if you do manage to pick up 2 to 3 orders within around the area, I think that they will be solid buys for the future, and just hold on. In terms of price levels to target, we have, what's that, 117,000 satoshis or 0.00117. And then we have that minus negative 618 level at 138,655 satoshis, if I can manage to spit that out. So things there aren't looking too bad. Slightly bearish on a MACD, which we could, I mean, look at the last three bearish periods got instantly bought up. So this asset is very, very bullish at a minute, and I think if you're looking for buys, you may only get some up at this 382 level. So just monitor that. If you're interested in a project, then slap some buys in at those levels. And if you're looking for accumulation zones, then sells at these levels up here. And then the same again for the USDT pairing. Levels up there to sell for accumulation at $55 and $65. So that's going to do it for today's video. That's some price analysis on Solana. Mainly for investment purposes. I don't tend to do day trading, so there's some levels for you to look at targeting for sells, accumulation, and take profits. So thank you very much for today. If you're not already, then please subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time.